Hi, this is Adele, and today our topic will be on standing postures. So, a good video to review to is the Stand Right to Feel Light video, where you start to find proper alignment in your standing postures. But today we will build on that topic a little bit more and help to build our vocabulary of standing postures. So these standing postures will help us and go a long way in keeping us mobile as we move through different life stages and to pursue whatever interests we have in our hobbies or in our daily life. The approach today we'll be covering two main categories of standing postures, namely symmetrical standing postures like mountain pose, lateral stretch, and chair pose, where both feet take quite even weight, and asymmetrical poses, where we start to explore poses that will be very helpful for us to move forward and backwards comfortably in space. So these poses will be very helpful for improving our gait, our walking patterns, and our movement patterns. So those poses may include poses like your high lunge, your warrior two, and side angle pose. And because standing postures are a little bit more physically demanding, so we are going to work with, say, about 5 to 8 breaths per movement. We'll go through 2 sets, especially as we learn how to transit between poses. And our focus will be how to let the weight fall comfortably towards our legs to hold us and ground us well. So towards that end, okay, any arm variations should be comfortable. If I propose to you an arm variation that doesn't work for you, you can always place your hands on your hips as a replacement. Okay, so that will be easier because there's a little bit more towards the center of gravity. So let's start. So have 2 blocks handy, so they will be helpful. Okay, just have them at the side of the mat. So come to Tadasana, mountain pose. Comfortable distance between your feet, 1 or 2 feet width. Okay, let the shoulders drop away from the ears and take a moment. So feel like the pelvis falls between the legs and the spine is tall. Okay, relax the shoulders a little bit. Turn your reach your arms backwards, turn the palms forward and reach up. Same thing, reach up. Feel like you're drawing arm circles to open the chest as you stand your ground. So you can keep your elbows soft, fingers reaching back, palms turn up and go forward and up. Relax the jaws and find comfortable breathing. And then opposite direction. So make the movements fluid. Let the breath flow within the body. And you can go fast or slow as you feel comfortable. Then take the arms to the side. Then from there, reach your arms forward and upwards. Take your right hand on the thigh. Okay, lean weight towards the left foot and side bend over to your right side. You feel your hips push out to the side. You lightly stretch the chin away from chest. You come up through center. Side bend to the left side, left arm by the side of your thigh. Right arm reaching across. Now a few times reaching up. And coming to right side. Reaching. Coming to left side, we're going a little bit more dynamic to get the body warm, to stretch out the sides of the body before we hold the postures. Then coming back, take it to the right side, top arm across the chest, press down the foot and gently lift the chin away. If you feel comfortable with the hip pushing to the left side, you slightly rotate the chest facing to the left side. And that's where we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn your gaze forward. Reach both arms up to the sky. Find center. Left arm by the side of the thigh. Drop the shoulder. Shift your hips towards the right side and side bend towards the left. Let the weight fall into your feet. Let the chest open out to the right side if you can. Otherwise, just facing forward. And then staying here for Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, fingers are soft, jaws are relaxed. Om 4, Om 5, gaze forward, reach both arms up to the sky. You can slight bend your knees, hinge forward at your hip, come into a halfway forward. Then bend your knees more, take your hands across the ankle, allow your back to round. Step down the feet, hugging your inner thighs. You can lift your chest flat back. Keep the weight onto the feet and hands on hips. Slowly belay yourself up to standing. So still comfortable distance to the feet. More warm up. Reach your arms up to the sky. Soft bend the knees. Feel like the buttocks shifting back. Chopping wood. Exhale, throw. Reach up. Throw. Reach up. Let the arms hang. Throw. Reach up. If you feel lightheaded, stop first. So it alternately works the abs and stretch the abdomen. One more time and exhale through. And just you can hang out here a little bit in ragdoll. Keeping your knees bent might be comfortable for some. Shift the weight from right foot to left foot without tensing. Then balance the weight through the center, hands on hips. Slowly come up all the way. You can open your feet wider for a bit. Just hip circles. So this could be a nice warm-up before we start to go into more stationary poses for some and then more movement-based poses and opposite direction. So you like to feel the weight shifting from foot to foot as you just gently ease out your back and your hips. And slowly come back to center. Pick up your block. We start to work a little bit more on strength. Okay, take your block. Put it between your inner thighs. So you want to feel the thighs slightly roll in and backwards. So I'm finding my neutral back curve. So just comfortable. I'm turning on the diagonal if it helps you to see better. So from here, you slight bend the knees, which enables us to tilt our hips backwards. Then you adjust the blocks if it's in the way. Then you sit into an imaginary chair behind you and place your forearms on your thighs to start with. So this gives a little support to find that forward fold from the hip hinge that we want. You can slightly squeeze the blocks, okay, squeeze the blocks with your inner thighs, but just enough that you hold it there without squirming, without pausing your breath. Then from there, you feel the weight going to the heels. You can slightly lift up the toes and feel most of the weight coming to your heel bone. Lay flat your toes, push your palms, slowly come up to stand. So that could be a modification for those of us who want to. Otherwise, we're going to another symmetrical pose, your chair pose. So same thing, you slight bend the knees, buttocks go back, hinge forward from the hips as you bend your legs to a comfortable degree for your knees or ankles. Weight is primarily on the heels. Forearms go on thighs or hands beside onto your knees. You're letting your chest lift up. You're looking slightly forward. Neutral back and breathe. Feel free to go with your arms next to your hips. Or you can reach your arms next to your ears or cheek. Then staying here for Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Squeeze the legs straight as you take your arms to the side of the body. Breathe. Take a moment. Allow the weight to fall into the space of the feet. Breathe. Okay, that was chair pose. Really intense pose for the thighs, but you feel warm almost instantly. Okay, so have the blocks by the side. We're going to translate that chair pose into more movements. Okay, so same thing, but now you don't have a block between your thighs. Imagine you're hugging a block between the thighs, just enough tone. Recall or reenact that sensations that you have between your thighs. Your knees slight bend, your buttocks going back, your body pitch forward halfway. Your hands can come down to the ankle, okay? Or your hands can come onto your hips. Let's start with that first. I'd like you to shift your weight towards the left foot and towards the right foot. Left foot and right foot before you find your center. Then take your hands to the blocks. You can squeeze your legs straighten, flat back. Allow the belly to cinch in as you shift your weight forward a little bit, just getting the butt over the knees, over the ankles. Then we rebend our knees. We're going to move. You shift your weight, your hands onto your hips, shift your weight to the left foot and your right foot. Big confident stretch back. Okay, you can always have a chair next to you. Feel the pinky toe side of the foot on the ground. Then from there, you bend the back knee so your upper body can come up. Feel free to turn the left toes a little bit, one big toe width out to the left side to find that nice putting of the leg into the pelvis, into the hip socket. Your hands can rest on the thighs or one hand on hip. Then from there, you bend the front knee generously up to a square. As your back knee bend, you can still stay upright. Feel free to stay here or squeeze the legs straight. Then we just hold here with the arms alongside the body. Breathe. Lean your weight forward onto the thigh. Then from there, you can step the back foot one small step or go all the way forward, right foot on the ground. Hands to the blocks into like a half squat. Then you can take the block forward and squeeze your legs straight. Give it a little break. You can stay with a halfway fold. Take a little while. Bend your knees if it helps you to lean the weight, ankle down into the feet, hands on hips, all the way come up to stand. We have the second side. So we're not holding in the pose yet, just getting the action. Later we'll hold. But notice, it can be tough, okay? Knee bend, imaginary block, buttocks back, chair pose. Hands to ground or hands to hips. Okay, lean your weight to the right foot. Confidently, take your left foot step back. Bring your weight to the left pinky side of the foot. Your hands can come onto the thighs or hips. Bend the back knee so upper body can come up, right? Right toes, one big toe width out to the right side to allow the front knee to bend and the heel to drive down into the right edge of the heel. Then from there, if you are confident, you press the back leg straighten and feel a nice left hip pull as you stand tall, arms beside the body. Finding comfortable breath as you let your pelvis drop to the space between the legs. To come forward, hands onto the thighs, lean weight forward. Lean the weight to the right foot and left foot step front. Hands on blocks, a halfway lift. Maybe add in a slight bend the knees to fold forward. You take your hands on the hips, slowly exhale, coming up to standing. Release your arms down. This second set, we're trying to go to hold. So you can always hold for a shorter time if you need to. Okay? When you feel it's too intense on your back, you always lean your upper body forward and take the blocks as an adjustment. So, imaginary block between your thighs, we transit through chair pose. Okay, we take the arms overhead, mountain. Imagine your palms squeeze the imaginary block, bend your knees, hips go back, hands down, chair pose, hands to hips or hands to heart center. Shift the weight left foot, right leg go back, bend the knee, lift the torso up. Feel free to turn the left toes out slightly. Front knee bend, up to a square on top of the ankle. Back leg squeeze straight if you like to. Feel free to stay in this orientation. For Om 1, Om 2, right hip is stretching, back leg is helping to bear the weight. Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Take the hands to hips or to thigh, lean your body weight forward. Right foot step front, bend knees, hands on blocks, squeeze the legs straight, forward fold. Hands on hips, you can come up with straight legs as well. Feel a light pulling in of the belly to support and slowly inhale, come up to stand. Release your arms down. Second side. Arms up, just to the height that you can. Chair pose, sit into the chair, you're not kneeling forward. Inhale, arms up, hands to heart center. Weight shift, right foot, left foot, a confident stride back to where you can. Bend the back knee, lift the torso. Right toes angle out to big toe width. Front knee bend, back leg can squeeze straight if it's within means for you. Imagine the back heel push into an imaginary wall. Om 1, Om 2, spine is long, ribs are lifted. Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Hands to hip can be your option. Lean your weight forward to the front, outer heel. Shift weight front, left foot step front. Hands to blocks. Squeeze your legs straight. Feel free to fold your belly on your thighs. Stretching the back of the legs. You can always adjust the height of the block as you need to. Broaden across the back. Strong legs with bent knees if you need to. Chest forward. Feel a little bit support coming from the front to support the back. Then from there, hands on hips if you like to. Slowly inhale, come up. release the arms down to the side. Okay, so we're going to move a little bit more. So with the blocks handy there, it's going to be really good. So still the weight shifting. I know you've probably done chair. For this sequence, you've done chair quite a long time. Okay, mountain. Breathe first. Take a moment. Knee bend. Chair pose. You can keep your hands on hips to heart center or overhead. Shift weight left foot, right foot, step back. Then from there, same thing. You bend the back knee to allow the torso to come up. Then you squeeze the back leg straight. Let the chest lift. You can take your right hand on the back of the right thigh. Slightly turn the chest towards the right side. Find that balance in the front foot. Take both arms back to center. Hands to heart center. Then from there, take the hands onto the block. But this time, back foot lay flat. Excuse me. So it could be a heel to heel or heel next to heel alignment with the back foot wedged. Then you just allow the chest to open. Then from there, you walk your hands. You can take your blocks along with you. Walk your hands towards the right foot. Okay, as you turn both set of toes forward and match the legs into the same plane. Hands to blocks, stretch the chest out like a flat back. Press out the outer edges of feet with spine long, with neck long. Exhale, option to fold forward. Slowly inhale, come upright. Then from there, strong legs with knees bent or not, hands on hips. Belay yourself up. Then that's where you turn the right toes out to the right side. Okay, bend the knee as you would in your high lunge warrior. So you turn the right big toes out a little, bend the right knee, the left foot wedged to the ground. You sit your pelvis between the legs. I have a little bit more range to go more forward, so my knee comes on top of the ankle. Back leg squeeze straight. Okay, and allow my shoulders, okay, just a little bit, okay, pretty much in line with your hips, but maybe a little bit more pitch forward. You can let the arms front of the groin to feel the sitting in of the weight between the legs. Warrior 2 is a front high stretch, both arms outstretched in line with the shoulders. Feel free to look forward. Breathe. Hands on hips. Front leg straight. Right leg straight. Turn both set of toes forward. Parallel the outer edges of feet. Give your inner thigh a balanced stretch. Halfway fold. Hands on blocks. Maybe some of us in a short span of time, we can progress a little bit lower with the hands. Maybe some of us got to stay still, stay high. Breathe. Then from there, hands on hips again. Slowly lift yourself up. Turn your left toes point front. Bend the front knee. Okay, you can take your hands to the ground and lift up the back thigh. Then from here, you can keep your hands on the ground or on blocks. Back foot step front. Knee bend. Then from there, arms up and squeeze your legs straight. Come up to standing. Slide your hands to your heart center. Second side, comfortable width of the feet. Hands beside you. Reset. Mountain. Knee bend. Chair with any arm variation. Shift weight right side, left foot step back. High lunge warrior. Then keeping your spine upright, left hand find the back of your left thigh. Let the right side body get long as the left shoulder release away. It's just a slight turn of your gaze towards the left side. Then from there, reach back to the center. Take your hands to the ground. Back foot lay flat. Walk both hands to the right side with blocks or no blocks. Parallel the outer edges of the feet. Wedge against the side so you feel the outer hips engage. Just pardon the back view a little bit. Then from there, push against the outer edges of the feet. Hands on hips. You come up strong. Then from there, you take your left foot, point backwards. Bend the front knee a little bit. You can take it a few times. So you're just trying to find that angle until you can bend the front knee and open the left thigh to the left side, wedge against the pinky side of the foot. Feel free to widen your stance. Let your pelvis fall between the space of the leg. You stand strong in your leg power. Add on the arms outstretched. Fingers stretching out, drop the shoulders. Breathe, look towards the left hand. Good. Hands on hips. Squeeze the left leg straight. Turn both set of toes forward. Just going out. Turn the right toes forward. You can always take your hand on a thigh to lift up the back heel, a little bit of ankle work. Then you can just step forward with hands on the thighs if you prefer. Left foot step forward. Squeeze the leg straight. Come up to stand. Okay, there's a lot of exploration of different transits, just playing with a few of them. Okay, moving on. Arms beside the body. We'll layer on a practice and adding a hold. Mountain. Knee bend. Chair. Shift weight left foot, right foot back. Hands on hips. Then from there, you press the back foot flat as you would in Warrior 2. The left thigh open, the back foot flat. Wedge against the back foot. Feel free to adjust the angle of the foot. Slightly angle out towards the front a little bit. Front thigh open to the left side. Sit your body weight between the legs. Arms outstretched, Warrior 2. Turn your gaze towards the left hand. Staying for Om 1, Om 2. Lift the ribs, spread open the chest. Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Reach one more inch forward. Right palm down, left palm turn, side stretch on the left as you keep pressing down the foot in that same leg orientation. Om 5, Om 4, Om 3, Om 2, Om 1. Both arms outstretched. Squeeze the front leg straight, hands on hips. Both set of toes turn forward. Look at the line. You just find a nice adjustment. Take a break, either standing upright or hands find the hip crease. You fold from the hip crease where the leg enters the pelvis and fold forward. Hands can go onto the legs as a variant. Or you can bend the elbows outwards, forward fold, wide angle. Relax the jaw, soften the back of the head, back of the neck. Breathe. Take it as a little break. We feel lightheaded, hands on blocks, chest leaning forward. Directly going to the second side. Hands on hips. Slowly inhale. Press yourself up. Right toes point out. Adjust your width if you need to. Right toes can always go to the right side more. Left heel wedge back. Same thing. Bend the front knee. Maybe go a few times to check the angle that works for you. Then you feel like the back hip can stretch. The front hip can fold. Both arms outstretched. Warrior 2. Look towards the right hand. Staying, shoulders drop down. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5. Deepen by reaching your right hand more forward. Left palm down, right palm turn. Reverse your warrior. Slight stretching out the right side. Breathe, left shoulder drop down. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4. Same leg orientation. Om 5, Warrior 2. Hands on hips, squeeze the right leg straight. Both set of toes turn forward. A little change, heels in, toes out. Once we have stretched out the inner thigh. Come into a half squat. So you can always play around, weight shifting from side to side. This is a goddess pose. Just shift around a little bit. So you allow the weight of the pelvis to fall between the thighs as you stretch the inner thigh. Hands on hips, squeeze the leg straight. Then from there, left toes turn front, right toes turn forward. You can take both hands down to the ground as well as a different variant of coming forward. Right foot step front, hands to hips, all the way up to stand. Relax the arms by the side of the body. Take a break, take a rest. More pose coming up. So from Warrior 2, we explore Reverse Warrior. Now we're going forward into side angle pose. So we'll do the modified version for today. Mountain. Excuse me. Knee bend. Chair. Shift weight right foot, left foot back. Hands to hips, back foot flat. Then from there, wedge against the back foot, front thigh open. Feel free to adjust the width. sit into your legs, warrior 2. Then from there, right hand reach forward, left palm down, reverse your warrior. We're coming back to warrior 2, and then this time we're going to lean forward. So it's still that folding at the hip, and we bring your right forearm on tie, push the weight into the left heel, and you can take the left arm just overhead. Allow the chest to spread as you tilt your head up at a diagonal, breathing. Press down the forearms, spread out the chest, back leg is going straight as you lunge in almost the same fashion as warrior 2 and reverse warrior. Then from there, top palm face back, push back into invisible pressure, come up to warrior 2, squeeze the front leg straight for a break, right toes turn forward, both feet wedged. Take a moment, breathe. Then from there, second side, left toes turn front, right heel wedge. Bend the front knee a few times. Feel like it's just helping you to lubricate the joint a little bit. Come up to warrior 2. Lean a little bit more forward with the left hand, right palm to tie. Reverse your warrior, stretching out your left frontal hip. Back leg press straight against the resist of your hand. Warrior 2, you can lunge deeper. Bring the left forearm to tie. Feel like you wedge the weight into your heel. Top arm into the sky option. Open across the chest. There's a chest opener as you ground into the front heel and the back leg. You can tilt your head up a little bit, feel that uplifted feeling. Eyes are soft gaze up, but don't crank your head to look up. Om 5, Om 4, Om 3, Om 2, Om 1. Top palm face back. Feel like you're pressing the air to lift up to warrior 2. Hands on hips, both set of toes turn forward. Heel in, toe out. Wide half squat, goddess squat. Back profile, the back is still neutral. You're just sitting into where you can. Some of us may be higher, some of us may go lower. Squeeze the legs straight, turn your right toes forward, left toes point front, bend at the hip, and take both hands down to the ground. But this time, drop the left knee, pull the right knee back, come onto hands and knees on all fours. Toes can point back, shoulders draw back away from the ears. Just ease out your hips a little bit. Then from there, stretch the belly and the chest out forward. Cow pose. Tuck the tail, hunch the back, pressing the ground away. Inhale, arching in cow. Exhale, hunching in cat. This is a pose that I like to release myself in. It undulates the spine, finding back neutrality. Exhale. Then from there, look slightly to the front. You can touch your big toes together and pull your elbows in front of the knees. Shift weight from side to side, rolling across the front ankles and the shins. You can take your hands a little bit so your elbows lifted. You can also pull your knees closer in to stretch your back as well. You go forward, arms by the side of your body if you can. Feel free to open the knees wider if you need to. Let your upper back round like a tortoise, forehead to the ground, in front or in the air. On a block is a lovely idea. Actually, maybe a softer surface would be better. So a towel would be lovely. Broaden across the back, relax the jaws. Take it as a reset in a symmetrical pose. So standing postures are by nature much more heat generating. Warm up the muscles. And you do work a little bit of cardio in some sense in that your heart rate does go up. Then from there, press down the shin. Come up to hero pose, sitting on your heels for a while. Shift weight to right side. Sweep the legs forward. Your legs can go forward, I'll show the side profile. Your hands behind you. You did this, you slouch in a little bit. Just go ahead and slouch. Okay, it's okay sometimes. Roll the thighs, just give it a little rest. Tap, tap your thighs. Rotate out your ankles a few times. Give it some relief. If you notice as well, the ankles do need to be a little bit more flexible, okay? As in that they have a nice grip of the ground, or they find their position in standing postures more easily. And then point flex your foot a few times. Squeeze open your toes, then wriggle. Then from there, release. You can take a break in Shavasana. Or you can sit on a block. Okay, no, maybe not sit on a block. Okay, you can take a break in Shavasana later, but take a walk around. See how you are feeling in your walk. Hopefully a little bit more ease in your spine as you move around in your day ahead. Hands to heart. Give thanks for your practice today. Thank you. Namaste.